Hi, I'm Rita Wilkins, also known as the Downsizing Designer. So it is Tuesday night, and I always talk about something downsizing or lifestyle design. And tonight I'm going to talk about a topic that a lot of people ask me about is where do you donate all of this stuff that you either want to discard or get rid of. So anyway, tonight's topic is 100 places to donate your stuff to a good cause. And I do have a free download PDF called that, 100 Places to Donate Your Stuff, on my website, Rita Wilkins at ritawilkins.com. So anyway, feel free to just grab that if you'd like. So if you're like many baby boomers, you might be looking around your house right now just wondering, like, where did all of this stuff come from anyway? And you've started to notice, maybe even more so during COVID, just how much stuff is just piling up and how much stress this mess is causing you. So you realize you have so much stuff that you have no idea, what's even in some of those boxes, whether they're in your attic, in your basement. I know I did, and I suffered with that for many, many years until I decided to declutter and downsize and became known as the Downsizing Designer, because life is so different after you are able to let go of a lot of that stuff. So, you also realize that an overwhelming task is ahead of you to declutter and to downsize stuff that you might have been accumulating for over 25 to 30 years. So, and on top of that, you might have inherited some stuff from either your parents or from other relatives. And if you're one of the lucky ones, you might even have, a repository of other people's stuff, i.e. our older adult children's stuff. That's why we have basements after all, right? But it might well be that you have, a couple of your kids' apartments in your basement, but they're now adults. And so you are sometimes the repository for that. So how do you find the motivation to get rid of all of this clutter? So the very first thought is start somewhere, and I'm saying anywhere, just start. So for me, I do recall starting in a junk drawer. I was so frustrated with messes everywhere, so much clutter everywhere. And I remember this one particular junk drawer in my kitchen that I just said, if I can get that far, then I'll make some progress. Well, that's what I did. And then ironically, I was motivated, and then I went on to another drawer and another drawer. So just start somewhere. So it could be that kitchen junk drawer. It could be the pantry that is loaded up with some things that are out of date. Just start there. Or a linen closet is also a good place to start, because we all have old towels. So set aside 15 minutes a day to get started. And you might discover that, you go well past 15 minutes because you're starting to see progress. So one drawer, one closet, one shelf at a time. Excuse me. I've been in meetings all day, so my throat is dry. So the second one is to set a goal and a timeline, whether they're short or long-term goals. I personally like both. So you could say that by Friday, I'm going to finish my master bedroom closet. Or by the end of the month, I'm going to finish the master bedroom closet and 3 other closets. The third step to be motivated to do all of this is to chart your progress. So, that daily or the weekly journal. Keep track of the areas that you've worked on, and write that progress down. It is surprising how we forget, because we don't reward ourselves enough. And always take the before, during, and after pictures. So you can always say, wow, that's what my closet looked like, really? And then you can see the after pictures, which are the reward. And frankly, I like to post those before pictures and after pictures, because when you see what your closet or your desk could look like When you look at the before, then you look at the after. That after will motivate you to maybe clean off your desk every day at the end of the day. So number 4 is to have fun. You know, decluttering really gets a bad rap because it's so hard, it takes so much time, or it's so emotional. So I hear these things all the time. And for me, it's more just a matter of reframing that statement to say something like, you know, it'll be much easier and much more fun if I have a team. So maybe I can invite a family member or a friend over to help me, and then I'll help that person as well. Another way to reframe that same kind of conversation about it's so hard, it takes so much time, you could say that, you know, if I have a team to work on this, and if I have a timeline, time will fly by and we can make some nice memories and have some fun as we go. And then the part about the emotion, I will just tell you for sure it will be emotional. So you can say something like, and just reframe the conversation to say, it will likely be emotional, but if I don't face those sentimental items head on right now, they're going to continue to take up space, not just in my home, but in my head and in my heart, and they're going to be weighing me down. And the 5th way to stay motivated is to find a decluttering method that works best for you and your lifestyle and your schedule. We're all different. I happen to love deadlines. So there is a method I call the burst method. And in 15 minutes or 50 minutes, whichever the time frame I set, I can get a lot done. So I'll talk about that in just another minute because I've created a new course that I would love to have you all join me in. So one thing about the decluttering methods in terms of your time. So if you have some weekends free and you say, well, I want to spend, you know, part of my Saturday or part of my Sunday on this kind of a project, put that on your calendar for just a few hours at a time each weekend or each month. And that slow but steady is a better way to do it than not at all. And so, and if you have time during the week, what time works best for you? You know, what is your highest energy level? I'm always looking at that. I happen to be an early morning person, so at 5 a.m. I could be decluttering my closets. But some people are nighttime people, so whatever works for you, figure that out and figure out the decluttering method that you enjoy, that you can fit into your schedule, and you can actually see consistent progress over a period of time. So another one of my favorite decluttering methods is called, I kind of created it this summer, but it's called decluttering from the heart. So I discovered this method, you know, last winter when I realized there were so many warm winter coats and sweaters and hats and gloves sitting in my closets and not getting used. And then I started to think about the homeless women in a shelter that I've been attached to for many years. And I knew that they would love to have one of those warm coats, or the hats or the gloves, or they all went together. So that they not only need them, but they would also make them feel good about themselves. So that became a huge motivational factor for me, knowing that I was giving it to someone who needed it, who would use it and actually enjoy it. So I started looking around my house for what else could I use, what else could I donate that I'm not using, that could be repurposed, that could be donated to places that people needed or wanted them. So, you know, when you look at household items, we all have, you know, extra household items, pantry items, shoes, electronics, books. All of those categories are things that we can look around our homes and focus on those and say, how can I repurpose them and donate them? So as that list grew, I decided to do some research for places that I could donate items, because I didn't know where to give my technology, you know, the old wires and things like that too. And so I did some research, and then I want to pass that on to you. So the result of that research was, and it's kind of hot off the press, 100 places to donate your stuff to a good cause. It's a free download on my website, Rita Wilkins at ritawilkins.com, and you can go there and get it right now if you'd like. And so if you are wanting to know how to get rid of that extra stuff, consider giving it a new life by repurposing it, by giving it to someone who needs it. And that to me is probably what it's all about, because we could just throw it away. But when you have in mind someone is using your kitchen table, your chairs every day, their family's sitting around it, it kind of warms your heart. And at the same time, if you're not using it or needing it, it could be well used somewhere else. So I hope this helps. And I also want to take this opportunity to make an announcement, because I am launching a brand new course in early September. It's called the 8 Proven Decluttering Methods and How to Get Started. So, as I just mentioned, we all have different personalities, different time frames, different schedules. And so I've tailored these 8 decluttering methods towards different personalities. And so whichever one works for you. But in this course, you'll discover, those 8 proven methods. You'll get a chance to practice them. And it will help you become permanently clutter-free in your home. So you can finally stop feeling overwhelmed, stressed, guilty about all of that clutter, which we all have had that happen in our lives, and maybe you are going through that right now. So if you want to be notified when the course gets launched, why don't you reach out to me at Rita Wilkins at ritawilkins.com. I'll put you on our list, and I do hope to see you there. Okay, thanks. Have a good night.